Hi Steve, I just wanted to go over this drawing here with you real quick just to show you some oddities that happen with the app as well. This is a pretty straightforward drawing, you would think, but I'll show you what happens in a little bit here with this area over here. Just let me do the drawing as it's supposed to go real fast, and then I'll show you where I get the problem area, and then we'll see if we can work on this as well, because this is another, not only does the app crash and not close sometimes, but sometimes I actually get unexpected results from it as well. So basically it looks like it's everything's going straight forward, no real problems, just trying to do my thing and draw each shape one at a time like I always do. And this drawing pretty much shapes up pretty easy. I'm not really taking my time to make all these lines nice and neat and perfect, but you get the idea. I'm just trying to zoom through this real fast so I can show you at the end what happens here. So anyways, I'm just finishing up this conical here. See this whole app concept, it goes by pretty quick. Okay, now this is the area that we're talking about. So now I've got an overhang to deal with here, and most times overhangs work not too bad, except in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this valley, and I'm going to guess at approximately 2 foot overhang here, and then I'm going to run it over here, and then that overhang would end right there. And then also what would happen is this would keep running here like a piece of step flashing, and it would come and it would end right there. So the problem is when I save this now, oops, I forgot to draw this last part of the shape right here. And when I save this now, as you can see, my overhang is completely unexpected. Black means that there's more than 2 layers. Purple means that there's 2 layers. So the purple on the right here is and the overhang is the way it's supposed to be, but the black there is not how it's supposed to be. Now let me try and delete some lines here, and I'll show you how this kind of thing shapes up a little bit here. If I save this now, again I've got this problem right here with this overhang, and it really shouldn't be doing that. And even if I was to take this line and end it like that, sort of, now all of a sudden I have the whole thing is 3 layers. I can try and delete some lines and try this a little bit differently. Let's see here. Let's go and draw this thing first and go like that. Let me save it and see what it looks like. Now this is black for no reason, and then draw this back in over here, save it. Now it's the reverse of that. Now the other one's black and this one's purple the way it's supposed to be. So this is a perfect example of the app not really responding well. There's something wrong with the algorithm that creates the overhang, especially when in this. What happened here? Somehow I lost my reflector. Give me 1 second here. I just want to see if I can get this solved, or I may have to start this whole thing over again. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. So I'm going to just let me solve this real quick. I'm just going to close that program so I can do this, and then I'm just going to open it again, and I should be it should be good again. I don't know why it zapped down on me, but let's just go like this. It should pop up again. There it is. And so there we are. So anyways, go back to the app here and my drawing. So now if I zoom out of here, you know, as you can see, the drawing for the most part is quite good, except for that one corner. And I think the problem, I mean, I don't know honestly what the problem is. Like, the drawing's right. Like, if you look at the overhangs and what's supposed to be there, like if I go identify things right now and I go step flashing, well, this piece of material right there is step flashing, then this would be a wall flashing right here, and then this would be a step flashing right here. So those are correct, and this would be an eave right here, and this would be a ridge right here and a valley. So all the pieces line up exactly how it would look in a real house. Identify the hips. So that's a hip and that's a hip. So this is, all of this is right. That's exactly how it would look if I was doing the roof. This, obviously, this yellow, little yellow line here wouldn't be a ridge. It would be more like a wall flashing, because there would be like a soffit that would end there. So I would usually just call that a wall and do that with it, and then there you go. But I still have that problem of the black and purple lines. So that's one problem that I have that I really want to have solved, is this thing just not quite calculating correctly. And I don't know if closing the shapes will solve this or not. Now, the other thing that I want to have possibility of happening is, once I set my scale, I know there's other apps out there that when you start drawing a line like this, when you start drawing just a random line like this, as you're drawing the line, it's actually showing you somewhere how long that line is. And that's what I would love to have. The reason I would love to have that, obviously I can't have that happen until I've set my scale. So maybe I have to set my scale first. But the reason why I would want that is, let's say I have a lower roof, right? I'm just going to zoom over here. Let's say I've got a lower roof right here. And it goes, the low roof, first of all, it's got a 2-foot overhang. So I need to know what 2 feet is. Is that 2 feet? Is that 2 feet? Is that 2 feet? So let's just say that's 2 feet. Then I know that my low roof is 12 feet across. I'd like to be able to go 12 feet with this cursor and then bring it back to here again and draw my low roof and save it. And you can see that because that area is an overhang, it's a double. And typically what I would probably do in this case is I would draw this low roof away from the roof here, but again, I would like to have my 2-foot overhang and my 12-foot measurement, and I would draw it like that, so that way I can identify my my lines better, because right now it'd be pretty hard for me to identify these 2 lines together because they're so close. So that's how I would like to do it. So if I could have some kind of a function that would show as I'm dragging my line across, like, you know, right just below the main image text here, it shows you exactly how long that line is when you're making it. That would be really excellent. So those are 2 issues that I also need to have solved as well, not just the crashing issues. You know, obviously the app is very close. It's not far from being right. It's in most cases it does the drawing fairly well. It's just got some glitches, and I just don't think that the company that I've got working on it is capable of solving these problems. They've had their chances, basically. They haven't been able to do it, and I've kind of given up on them in this regard. They do a lot of other things quite well, but this particular part of the software they don't do very well at all. So I'm just going to close this.